Video games are a $25 billion a year business, and 3 years from now, the industry is expected to be twice as big. But you know, not everyone thinks it's headed in the right direction. And our Jeff Glor is here with the story. Good morning, Jeff. Good to see you, buddy.
JV, always good to see you as well. Yeah, good morning to you. Most people think that games can be childish or immature. There are those trying to change that, though. We sat down with one man in particular who is not just speaking out, he is building out some of the most unique and challenging material the medium has ever seen. Jonathan Blow is probably the most famous video game developer in the world. He may also be the most feared.
I actually don't like a lot of that.
Rarely mincing words. The state of video games today is what?
I don't even know. It's a big mess right now.
Coming from just about anyone else, those words might ring hollow. But Blow's last effort literally took the business to a new level. Ostensibly a traditional platform, like Donkey Kong or Super Mario Brothers, Braid was about far more than a cartoon character named Tim as he tries to save a princess. It was about bringing together the abstract parts of a complicated puzzle, revealing deep moral and philosophical questions. A game for those who don't like most games.
I had this idea about what games should do, like they should be pushing the boundary of what games have already done, trying to expand the medium, because someday games can have a much bigger role in terms of their participation with human culture, right?
Do you still feel that way?
I do feel that way.
Blow's primary criticism is that the vast majority of games simply don't respect the player. They are big, boilerplate, and brain-numbing. It's a criticism the main developers generally do not want to hear. You've sort of assumed the mantle of the conscience of the video game business. Is that a title or a role that you're comfortable with, that you want?
It's not very fun.
Is it a role that you court?
No, I mean, I don't.
You're not disowning it.
I'm not disowning it. No, look, games are really kind of immature. They're playing in the kiddie pool a lot of the time. We as video game designers are creating a significant part of the modern environment, right? And we should be thinking about what that is doing to everybody.
For the past 4 years, Blow has been working on his follow-up to Braid inside this nondescript building in Berkeley, California. It is called The Witness.
I think it's a much better game than Braid already. It's much deeper and more expansive and more sophisticated.
It may be the most intellectually ambitious game ever attempted, a 3D puzzle adventure set on a lonely island. And Blow is pouring almost all the money he made on Braid into its completion, agonizing over every detail.
I think that would look a lot more natural. This whole typing in numbers thing is not that great. But here, like, we wouldn't do this. I want to be clear on what the goal is. So making something that's excellent and really smooth is just, people have no idea.
When he's not creating, he can still be found speaking out, either at developer conferences.
Engineering your way through a human defense and then profiting by that is a parasitic form of behavior. But you know, I'm a game designer, right? And I don't necessarily want to think of myself as a parasite.
Or in the recent documentary, Indie Game, the movie. And while his frank talk strikes some as arrogant, it's also made him a cult hero for independent gamers. Now, Jonathan Blow waits to see when his next project is complete. 4 years in, even he doesn't know.
I'm constantly revising the design of the puzzles and the designs of the locations and where they are relative to each other, so that it really reaches its potential.
So the answer to when it's going to come out is when it's done?
Yeah, when it's done or when we run out of money.
So Jeff, thought-provoking, intellectually stimulating come to mind when you think about Jonathan Blow and his product, but is that popular? Is it receptive by the mainstream audience?
I wouldn't say it's always mainstream, and no, some of the mainstream developers are not necessarily huge fans of his because he's so critical of them. A lot of the debate here, I mean, it's sort of like the movie debate. We've had actors and producers and directors on this set who say, listen, all Hollywood does right now is turn out these big blockbusters that are sort of thoughtless and prequels and sequels instead of trying something that might be new. I think what Jonathan Blow tries to do is do something new.
And the finger should be pointed at whom? Designers or the public and their appetite?
Maybe a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I mean, they're being developed by these designers, but we're also buying them. A lot of people are buying them. And I think he just wants people to think twice. And also, maybe not be so simplistic. When you're playing some of these or when you're experiencing them, there are very, very clear clues. Do this next, do that next. He wants there to be a little more exploration.
And I'm being told to do this next. Thank you very much, Jeff.
Go.
All
Good to
right.
see you, buddy.